There we go. Right. Welcome, everyone. like I said, my name is Leon. I live in Cape Town, South Africa. I am a sexuality coach, yeah. And I work with one-on-one people, with couples, and I create online courses. I'm a mother. I have 2 children. They are aged 17 and 20. And yeah, what else? Today has been a really hot day in Cape Town, even though we're in the middle of winter. It's been a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to speak about. Oh. There we go. It's a beautiful day to speak about vaginal orgasms. I have spoken about this before. We've had a Zoom meeting about it before. And today, the topic is what can you do as the lover of a woman to help her to have vaginal orgasms? Now, this is such an important topic, the vaginal orgasms, because that is the place when we make love, where we really, really meet each other very intimately. And I feel it's specifically this space, this vaginal tract. When I say vagina, then I mean the inside of the yoni, the inside, the vaginal tract that gets engaged when you're having sex with your lover. It's that part that I'm talking about. And so many of us, most of us women, do not experience vaginal orgasms, and we desire to experience them. And our lovers are like, okay, how can we help? How can we help? How can we participate in this process of becoming more orgasmic or feeling more inside our vaginas? And just another point is that I am teaching you from a lived experience. So it's not like reciting things to you that I've read in books. I'm translating to you things that I feel in my body, things that I experienced from moving to not being orgasmic to being hyper-orgasmic. And the reason why I'm doing this work is when I suddenly became very orgasmic inside my vagina at the age of 49, that was in 2018, I was actually taken by surprise because no one really speaks about this topic much. There's a lot of attention on the outside, but not much attention on the inside. So I feel we need to address this very intimate way of connecting. And just another point is this thing of like, oh my goodness, I have to have a vaginal orgasm. We also want to take away the idea of a goal. I want to drop the goal right in the beginning. This is very important in this work, is to actually drop the goal of orgasm, because if we're not having an orgasm, we can so easily feel inadequate or that we've done something wrong. And that is not the attitude we want to be with when we are with our bodies. So drop the goal. The single most, the most important focus is presence to the moment and presence to what is. Okay. So that is like, there are certain techniques that I will be sharing with you. In this talk, I'm going to be talking about the women's experience a little bit. And then tonight specifically, I'm going to speak about, as the lover of a woman, what you can do to help her, and I'm going to give you tips. But this is not mathematics, and we're not working with a machine, this woman and her vagina. So it's not only like technical things. The most important foundation that we want to start with is a sense of presence. Presence is very important in the orgasmic process. Instead of thinking I'm going towards a goal, I'm going to fall back into being present right now. Now, what is an orgasm? An orgasm is when you yourself, when an orgasm is when you surrender completely to your own sensory body. An orgasm can only happen inside your own body. You can never shoot an orgasm into someone else. Like you can't give someone an orgasm. That's a very important concept to understand. An orgasm is a very deep internal process, and it's a very beautiful and wonderful process of extreme self-surrender, of meeting yourself so deeply and surrendering so deeply into your physical experience that you almost disappear inside yourself. So that moment of self-surrender would be the same for any gender or sexual orientation, that personal experience. So remember that when you are with a lover, you are jointly going into this deep personal surrender. And when you do this together, it is a very intimate process. You are bearing, exposing, dropping into a lot of yourself and allowing the other person to share in that moment. Okay, so you cannot give a woman an orgasm. What you can do is you can hold space for this process of her to experience herself in that extreme, most wonderful surrender way. So when you are making love to someone, you are basically, that word, holding space. Holding space, creating a safe space where your lover can surrender deeply into their sensory body. And you can hold space for your lover to have this experience. And you can choose to go into this experience together where you hold space for each other to go into that deep surrender, that deep vulnerability. Okay. Can I have a few nods? We with you, we understand an orgasm happens in yourself. You can't give it to anyone else. Yes. Okay. Now, women, what happens for a woman when she's having an orgasm? It's a deep letting go into self. We go into a very vulnerable space when we let go like this. We have to feel safe to become an animal, to become purely ourselves, to let go, to let some wild side of ourselves out, or whatever needs to be felt. So we are making ourselves very vulnerable when we orgasm. And it's a beautiful process to witness as our lovers. Okay, you can feel that. It's sacred to show your lover, as if you're the woman, it's sacred to show your lover your pleasure and your surrender. And it's vulnerable. So it's very important that we feel safe and that we feel physically safe as well as emotionally safe. And if we don't have those two aspects, we cannot surrender and we will not orgasm. It's not going to happen. Okay. So we can, the conditions have to be ideal. And then this whole thing of not being able to feel in our vaginas, not being able to orgasm in our vaginas, I want to repeat again, we don't want to feel inadequate. What we are sitting here is we are sitting with a very common phenomena where we are all making love, we are all having penetrative sex, and most of us can't feel. Most of us in this world, you are not the only one if you can't feel. You have not done anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you if you can't have vaginal orgasms. What we are sitting with is we are sitting with generational disconnect. It comes from our mothers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our fathers. It comes from a societal way of being. Through centuries, we have left the scene of our genitals for various, very valid reasons. And when we do want to become present and start feeling and sensing inside our vaginas again, or anywhere in our body or our genitals, specifically our genitals, we are working with generations of disconnect. And when we do connect, it's almost like we are creating a healing that traces back behind us. So I just want to say this again, that we don't want to feel inadequate. We want to see what is, be present with what is, and say, yes, there is a disconnect. And what processes can I do as a woman to gently start acknowledging where I am, feeling the emotions I have around it, and slowly build new neuro connections, new personal connections, new ways of being. It takes time. It takes time. There's many layers, and it's very individual for everyone. Also need to say that everyone is extremely individual and have very personal healing and reconnecting to do on various levels. And okay, so just shortly, us women, yeah. And then, I mean, there are so many techniques that we can do. We usually start on the outside and with the whole psyche, with the whole body. There's so many things that we can do to start reconnecting with our body. And we do it on so many different levels, with our voice, with our movement, with the way we allow ourselves to be touched. There's so many levels that we work with the entire body, the entire being. And then eventually we start getting to these very intimate, very vulnerable parts of ourselves that's got a very potent energy for us, for all of us. So we usually start from the outside in. We start from spaces where we feel safe, and then we move closer and closer and closer to the spaces where we are most vulnerable. Okay. But there's like so many techniques that we can do. I'm not going to share them all tonight. They are all in this new course that I'm doing. And it's also very important to be in this process, because like I said, you can't give anyone an orgasm. Your lover, if you're a woman, your lover is holding space for you to have a deep physical experience. So it's often good when you're on your own to practice becoming physically more present to yourself, and then maintaining that presence when you're with your lover. Okay, you all still with me? Do a little shake. Okay. And then now I'm going to speak to the men. You know, I want to keep this short and to the point and practical for you guys with a few questions at the end. Right. What you can do as let's not say a man, the lover of a woman, because this would apply to even a woman making love to a woman. Okay. Right. Again, drop this goal, number one, drop this goal of we want an orgasm. Drop this goal, because then we are shooting ahead to somewhere where we are not, and simply be with the moment and simply make the most of every moment where you are at every moment. From the minute you start engaging with this woman, be in the moment. Because it's quite boring if you start engaging and you're already thinking, I'm chasing an orgasm. I'm trying to make something happen that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so drop the goal, enjoy the moment. The moment is always enough. It's the only place where you can do anything. Right. Then, guys, become present in your own body. So what I see with men, they come with me with this beautiful utterance and they say, I am so concerned about my partner's pleasure. I want to give her pleasure. I want to satisfy her. And that is lovely, guys. It's also boring. Okay? That's a beautiful intention to have. So don't throw that out the window. Keep that intention. But what I want you to add to that is I want you to add yourself. So I don't want you to walk in the room like you sound some kind of machine that's now going to give me an orgasm. I want to feel who you are so that I can surrender, so that I can feel safe. You know, we're going on this whole emotional, physical surrender thing. Please do it with me. Don't do it to me. Okay? Switch on your sensory body. Start feeling, lovers of women, I'm going to say guys, start sensing your pleasure body. Feel your body. Switch yourself on. It's very sexy for us women to engage with a guy that can feel pleasure. Girls, I'm getting nods. Oh, sexy when a man goes like, that's good. You know, we want to feel that you can go into this party with us. I use this analogy. Imagine you go to a party, your best friend is joining you. Guys, I'm speaking to you now. Imagine your best friend and you're going out, you're going to the party, and your friend comes up to you and he says, tonight, I want you to have a good time. The most important thing to me is that you must have a good time tonight. And the whole evening he's saying to you, are you having a good time? Is this lovely for you? And you're like, dude, you're putting so much pressure on me. Like, you want me to perform or what? But if your friend arrives and he's like, hey, let's party, let's make this thing happen, and you going into this party together, you feel that. Do this whole love-making thing together. And it's really such a big thing for guys to go into performance, give so much give so much to the woman, but show us who you are. Show us your pleasure. Also feel your pleasure, and it makes us safe to start partying, to start relaxing, to start showing more of like what we enjoy. It creates a space of allowing. Okay, don't only give. Now, with us women, most of the time we like being approached from the outside inwards. We want to be seen as a whole person, okay? Don't just go for our pussy immediately. Sort of, I don't know, we like all the peripherals being touched and tickled and acknowledged. And the reason why we want that is our vagina, our genitals are so sensitive, very sensitive, very, very special to us. It's a special place to go. And for us to be switching ourselves on, our full sensory awareness, it's like super sensitive, okay? You can't just go in there. But I think you guys all know all of this. So you want to start with the sensitive. You want to start sensitizing the body. So when you are touching the outside, the peripherals, before you get to the gold, the pussy, you're touching the outside. Do it in a way where you are igniting her. So you're not touching her purely to get to her pussy. It's also very off-putting to us if this guy starts and you know this is going A, B, C. Kiss, fiddle, penetrate. Oh my God. Okay, kiss, fiddle, like right? So we wanted all these peripherals to be going on. And the reason is you are switching on, you are switching on, you are switching on, you are switching on all the nerves. Tuck, 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 tuck. And this woman is opening up like a flower. She's opening up all her nerve endings to feel as much as possible. Okay, so the more you play with the parts where we can feel really well and the parts that are already available, the more we become more and more sensitive. And then when you get down there, when you get to the Yoni, she's already alive. She's already, all her nerve endings are awake. Okay. And this counts for, this really does count for this thing of us not being able to feel in our vaginas or not being orgasmic in our vaginas. So instead of saying, I'm going to work this vagina now until she has an orgasm. So I'm going to give it to her, you know, till she has an orgasm. I prefer the approach that you start with the areas that are already available for sensitivity, for sensations, for pleasure. Those are the safe areas. They're physically safe and emotionally safe, where we can feel. Allow us to feel there more and more. And eventually, all of that is going to infiltrate into the entire body, including the vagina. But we keep going back instead of saying, oh, I can't feel here, so I'm going to bang there until you can feel. I'm going to go, oh, okay, so you can't feel. So we go to places where we remember what it feels like to feel. And then slowly we come back and we keep going back to the places where we remember to feel, to sense. When I say feel, I mean sense, like physical sensing. And then we keep visiting, and it's like you're teaching the body new neural paths of sensation in a very gentle way. The places where we do have the remembrance of feeling, we'll start communicating with the places where we don't have feeling. Someone's sound is on. Who is this? Ah, here we go. Rocky, I've just muted you. How are you guys doing, guys and girls? Can I just have a little, you still with me? Yay! Okay, thanks. Oh, it's so nice to feel your energy coming back into me through the screen. Right. Okay. Right. So now I said go back to all the supersensory parts, and I spoke about the ABC, and then I mean, I'm a creative person, so this is my personal liking. Like, be creative. Don't always follow this ABC, like I said. Really be creative. Don't follow the things that you've only seen on videos in porn or wherever, or that you've always done. Like, don't follow those patterns. Well, you can sometimes follow those patterns, but see if you can be more creative. Surprise her. The more times you surprise her, suddenly touch her somewhere where she didn't expect, or suddenly turn her around, you awaken more of that sensory excitement. So I want to encourage you guys to be creative with your touching. That's we love that. Just love that. Right. Then sensitivity and the Yoni. Like I said, with this flower, we're so sensitive, and it's all connected to our emotions. It's like, and the orgasm is not always achieved with more friction. Okay. Sometimes friction works, sometimes not. And it is amazing to discover that sometimes, often, with the slightest, lightest, most gentle touch, you can evoke the most powerful orgasm. Try it. Okay. For instance, the orgasmic meditation, OM meditation, you guys can Google it, all of you. That's a beautiful meditation where you only stimulate the top left tiny little corner of the clitoris in the most gentle touch, like I want to say like a butterfly's eyelid, like a butterfly's eyelash. So light, you're almost not touching. And you do this for 13 minutes. And to see the kind of electricity that runs through the woman's body, that is humbling. To realize that even when you engage with the outside of her yoni, to see the power of that gentle touch. And do an OM meditation once, and that's also going to be in this course that's starting next week. Do an OM meditation once to realize what a sensitive organ you are dealing with. Right. Then a good way to also feel a woman's vagina, or to hold space for her to feel her vagina, is to give her a yoni massage. That's something that I will also be teaching you properly in the coming course. So a yoni massage is when you are, again, holding space for the woman to experience her vagina, where she's not under pressure to have an orgasm. Because sometimes that pressure of, we have to have an orgasm, we just like lose the plot. So it's a very slow giving process, the yoni massage, and there's a certain way that you do it. Touch carefully, very gently, all these different parts inside the yoni, and you're holding space for the woman. You touch her inside with your fingers extremely gently, sometimes adding more pressure, sometimes less, asking her what she prefers, harder touch, gentler touch. And because she does not have to orgasm, she has the opportunity to really feel what's going on in there for her, and to strike up this internal conversation with her vagina. And this is that internal connectation. This is what we are busy building, this internal connection with the vaginal tract. And these are all little techniques to wake up those nerve endings and to reconnect this disconnect that we're bringing back. She doesn't have to orgasm. She simply has to meet herself, just feel. Sometimes like she might even feel discomfort, but what is that? Feel that. How does that feel for you? And just holding space, or she might feel pleasure, or she might feel pain. You don't always have to feel pleasure. Just feel what you feel. This is you. This is this part of you. Okay. So that's Yoni massage. That is something that you can do. And you do this not to make her come, but it's literally with your fingers inside her, holding space for her. Right. Also helps you to get an idea, like when you're inside her, which parts evoked which emotions inside her, so that you know when you penetrate which are these parts that I'm touching and how did they feel for her. And I just need to say, these parts might feel different for her every day. We have a whole personality going on inside our vaginas, and we change from day to day. We do. That is a fact. And that's the wonderful mystery that we always present to our lovers. And this is why, as your lover, as the lover making love to this woman, you require to be very present, to see what her cues are and what her mood is for that day. Okay. Then another thing is time. A woman needs time to orgasm. Most of the time, we feel rushed. We feel bad about taking this long to orgasm. We feel guilty. Then sometimes we just go, I'm just going to leave it. It's like, it's not going to happen. I feel embarrassed that it takes this long. People, long is a relative word. How long is a piece of string? Short is a relative word. Okay. In my mind, a lovemaking session, at least half an hour, preferably an hour. That's not long. That's normal. Just rethink this. I feel we need to take more time for lovemaking. Just put that into your awareness. 10 minutes is not enough. 11 minutes is not enough. And to put that pressure on a woman that she must come this quickly is like, no, why? What's the point? Boring. Okay. So really, we need to work on this whole time thing. And I was driving my car today and I just had this image of like walking into a lake. I see this time, I see like that when you walk into a lake slowly. In the beginning, you're in the shallow part. So you're in very shallow kind of lovemaking and connection. If you walk slowly, you walk deeper and deeper. You enter a deeper space of awareness. You enter a deeper space of surrender, of joy, of pleasure. Don't run out so quickly. Nah. Go in, swim around. Take your time. Okay. And the further you go in, the deeper. Lovemaking is a meditation. Okay. See it as a meditation. You go deeper and deeper as you go. You can surrender more. Your orgasms can be better. And with this time, guys, I really want to encourage you to get to know your body, so that when you make love, that you can practice ejaculation control. The other day, I watched a bit of porn to see what's going on Pornhub, and when we watch this, the Pornhub thing, they have a timer that goes tick, 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 and it goes faster, and they're trying to get you to come as quickly as possible, and it's almost seen as like, wow, you come so quickly, this is going to be so amazing, you're going to come quickly. Please, people, just be aware, if you come quickly, then you are depleted. If you're very young, your bounce back period is very quick. If you're slightly older, it gets longer and longer. So if you can learn, and it's so simple and it's actually so easy, you can just have a little bit of guidance and can transform your lovemaking. It can transform how long you'll make love. It's like super good skill to have. And you can also still have your full body orgasms, guys. You can have that orgasmic experience without ejaculating, but it takes a bit of practice. Whereas us women, we can just let rip and have orgasms as much as possible. And here, also want to relate how I used to experience orgasm. I used to have one orgasm and then think, okay, the job, it's done. And then, okay, mission achieved. Now we can go to bed. And then recently discovered that, oh no, women have this privilege of we can have more than one orgasm. And when we have that first orgasm, it's like, okay, we've just warmed up. We've just surrendered one level. There's more levels. There's more layers of this onion to be peeled. That every time you orgasm, you enter a deeper level of surrender. So guys, if you can practice ejaculation control, this woman has one orgasm. And then keep making love to her and keep holding space for her to surrender more and more into herself. Then she can have more orgasms. And as I'm speaking now, what's coming up for me now is the question again, okay, clitoral orgasm or vaginal orgasm? What are we talking about here? So I'm speaking about both, okay? Even if we can have more than one clitoral orgasm, it can get overstimulated after a while. It can get a bit sensitive. It can get too much. But with the vaginal orgasms, you can also have more and more and more. But there also, if we can't feel yet, if you can't feel yet, you can't have those vaginal orgasms yet. But to know that once you have surrendered with a clitoral orgasm, that you are more sensory and that there is a possibility of then still having a vaginal orgasm after that. Okay. There are techniques that women can do, like the best thing there during penetrative sex, to awaken the sensory parts of the vagina is to speak to her. So I'm back to speaking to the woman. While you're being made love to, really put your presence. It's almost like a little you runs down your body and into your vagina and ask yourself, hey, what can you feel right now? So strike up this internal conversation with yourself and say, hey, what can you feel right now? And even if you feel nothing, that's a feedback that you got. But from your side, you are starting the feedback from your brain by saying, I am starting this conversation. I am making the call. And I'm giving her the opportunity to start giving me feedback. Okay. There was something else that I wanted to say here. Oh, so guys, when you've done the Yoni massage, you also get to know that the woman has different parts in her vagina that are sensitive to different kinds of sensation. They almost have different little personalities or archetypes. And the way you access them is by changing positions. And it's also a good way to stimulate the vagina this way and then that way and then that way. So you don't want to just overstimulate in one way, but you can change your thrust in different, so the sensations are not boring, they're interesting, they stay interesting to us. Then we want to be more present. And then we can also change position, turn, flip her, turn her this way, turn her that way. And then you're accessing different parts of her sensory body inside her vagina. Guys, are you with me? Good. Let's turn the page. Right. How to enter her. Khotso, thumbs up. How to enter her with your penis. Or if you don't have a penis, with your finger or with your penetrative essence. How to enter the vagina. So now we've already woken up the whole sensory body. Often when a woman is ready to be entered, she will lift her hips. She will turn her pussy towards you, lift her hips. That's a good sign she wants you. Okay, so look for those little signs, those little cues. Help her, hold space for her, pull her energy down into her genitals. Okay, so what I say here is we start with the peripherals and we move down. And even if you do move like this with your hands and you move around and you start moving the awareness to the genitals, okay, so that there's more presence. Okay, then for yourself, guys, become present in your penis. Really feel your penis. Really put your heart in your penis, and you can use your imagination. Imagine there's a golden stream of energy, of power flowing from your heart into your scrotum, through your penis and towards her. Be present in your penis. Put your love, your heart, your energy, your personality, your quirkiness, everything, like be there. We want to know that you are there because we are going to be making love to you. Okay, so we want to feel you. So just make that conscious decision to put your heart in your penis. And then when a woman is ready to be entered, her yoni starts sucking, starts pulling you in. Now, we're not little superheroes that we can pull you in completely, but there is a slight welcoming notion, like we are just slightly opening that door to let you in. So when you feel that cue from her, so I advise you to enter her slowly, always. We love that. Feel those little cues of her welcoming before pushing. You know, give your push, give your energy, but always feel that meeting from her, right? Then Tantric thing, I love the thing of making eye contact. Thing, I see you as a whole person. That eye contact thing is like mwah, magic. So like, oh, fully present. Yay. Yeah, I see you to your deepest flipping soul. I'm going to go in there now. Enter her slowly. Now, if you have done a yoni massage on your woman, very gently, not wanting to make her come, you might have noticed that her yoni has the capacity to strike up a conversation when you did this with your fingers. Like there's like very subtle little ripples or shudders or even a like relaxing opening or a little pulse or there's like subtle little movements, correspondence going on there all the time. It's nice to meet that with your fingers for a moment. Some other day when you did that, to understand that. So when you enter her with your penis, be aware of those subtle hints from her. even subtle movements from her hips, wanting you deeper, like moving. And then when you start moving, we want this like beautiful making love motion, penetrating, moving, that rhythm. It's really nice if you can pick up the rhythm together, like you are dancers. So we don't have one person jumping around doing all the work and the other one's just standing there, or the woman is just lying there and you're moving around a lot, trying to do a lot for her. So in your presence, you want to enter her slowly, feel her energy and feel how she wants to move. And even if she's not moving it and you want to initiate some movement, feel how she responds to that. And really see it like you've got her in your arms, you're on the dance floor and you are dancing together, step by step. So that rhythm goes, we feel, we're starting this. It's not just, we feel each other. We are doing this together. We acknowledge both each other. And then when it feels good, we pick up the rhythm. We ask for more rhythm. So you have to be so present. But then it is like being a dancer. And again, you're not doing all the work. Be present in your own body. Be present, guys. Be present in your own body. Be present in your own pleasure. Show me your pleasure. I want to feel your pleasure in your dick. If I'm going to feel pleasure in my vagina, I want to feel your pleasure in your dick. I want to feel your whole personality there. I want to feel everything that you are. Okay? So dance with me. Dance with the woman. Dance with all your whole fucking heart and soul. Move with her. She would so appreciate that. Because that level of abandonment is a biggie. And the more you can go there with her, the more wonderful. All right. So yeah, with this, like we like pounding, but sex is not only pounding. We get there at some point where we get like all vibrant and we go really fast. But in the beginning, you want to really keep that point, that center of presence that you started with the moment you looked into her eyes the first time you started making love tonight. As you started your love making, you started a point of presence, and you stayed present, and you stayed in your sensory body, and you were present, and you were feeling all the time. Don't lose that for a moment. And all the way when you penetrate, don't lose that presence. Just stay it. You're in this dance. You're on stage. It's happening. The whole audience. No, you're not on stage. But like, keep the focus. All right. And then again, remember, she's multi-orgasmic. We're not only going to come once, okay? We just give us time. We want a long dance, right? Guys, just some last points. Is what you can do. Again, our topic is what you can do to help your women to have vaginal orgasms. Is we want to sensitize the woman's vagina, and we've got generations of healing to do here. We've got a lot of work to do, all of us, each one of us individually, including you guys. So we're heightening the sensitivity in the woman's vagina, in her most intimate part. So I want you to think about how you masturbate, guys. So in all our women's sessions, we learn, in our women's circles, we learn to masturbate beautifully with ourselves, and we make love, and we appreciate, and we take our time, and we discover all our bits. We do that. Men, you are the person that probably engages with your penis the most of anyone. Self-pleasure, it is wonderful. I encourage masturbation. I encourage self-pleasure and self-love. But take note how you're doing it. So if you are going to, for instance, practice to be a marathon runner, you're not going to get up every morning and sprint down the street for 1 block and go back. You're going to practice to be a marathon runner, right? So when you masturbate, discover the sensitivity of your penis. Discover what it feels like to become more sensitive in your penis. You are not masturbating to come as quickly as possible. We've just been so conditioned, like come as quickly as possible because no one's supposed to see you, or someone might come into the shower or something, you know. Take the time, take this sacred, special time to really be with your penis in a professional way. Like, I'm a professional lover. I make love in a professional, fantastic, beautiful way. I'm just saying professional, like we're going on that level. I want to be a master lover. How does a master lover make love? A master lover is really sensitive in his whole penis. He understands all the different sensitive parts. He practices ejaculation choice. Do this when you masturbate. Find those edges when you're on your own, so that you're not suddenly in the lovemaking scene and you've had no practice. So practice your tools, learn your skills. And when you can work with your penis in this sensitive way, you can understand more of the sensitivity of the vagina. So you're going to engage with her in that same sensitive way. Okay, not like a shotgun. And so I want to conclude the talk with this last point. That's what I have to say. And I'd like for you guys to ask me questions. I don't want to keep